Beach FM kick-off sports breakfast show with HMC Kapiti, your local authorised Kia and Suzuki sales and service agent, and now your local AA Auto Centre. At HMC Kapiti, the journey just gets easier. Find out how easy online at hmckapiti.co.nz.
You're back on the Kick-Off Sports Breakfast Show on Beach FM 106.3. Let's talk a bit of baseball now. Let's welcome back our good friend from the Levin Hustle Baseball Club. It's Hendrix Warren. G'day, Hendrix.
Damian, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, thank you.
Awesome. Another exciting week in the major leagues. Tell me, for someone else looking in, what is trade week? Why is it important? And who were the winners and losers of this one?
Yeah, well, trade week is, the trade deadline is really important for particularly, from two points of view, actually. So one point of view, you might have a team that is maybe not competing for a playoff berth or something like that, but they have some key players that may be of use to some other teams that they could get them bargaining tools, bargaining pieces from as well. So, and on the other side, you may have some teams that are really pushing towards a playoff berth and just want to plug some holes that they might have in their team. They may need an extra outfielder or someone in a position or a pitcher or something like that. Right. It just firms up their roster a little bit more just for that final push into the playoffs. So they're willing to maybe trade some of their prospects that are down in the minor leagues for a big name that could be on the trade block. So it works out in both ways. You get a lot of teams the ones that aren't competing, that are really looking to maybe sell up and sell up their big names for someone for a bunch of prospects that, whilst they won't reap the return of it right away, they'll certainly be able to utilise that, and that'll come to fruition maybe 1-2 years' time. Good example of that, and we'll probably use this team for a couple of examples. San Diego Padres a few years ago traded for probably the biggest name in the game right now, Fernando Tatis Jr. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Can't quite remember, but they traded with the White Sox. White Sox were in need of a veteran pitcher, so they traded a couple of their prospects, and one of those being Tatis at the time for James Shields, who was a bit of a veteran pitcher. He'd done the rounds and that sort of thing, and so. As it turns out, it maybe wasn't that much of a fair trade, because 2 years down the track, you've got the best player, arguably the best player in the majors, playing at shortstop for you, and James Shields. I don't know what he's up to these days. He's not the best pitcher in the majors, so those. But those are the types of things that you get to see every now and then. Teams that are really wanting to push into the playoffs and make sure that they're in a good, solid position. They'll be able to have it, and if they've got some bargaining chips there as well, particularly if they've got some really good prospects that they want to palm off for a big name or someone that fills a gap for them at the time. And a lot of these big clubs, they use the analytics, they use, they play a bit of money ball and things like that as well. So they really, really get smart about it in terms of the type of person that they want or that they need on their team to get anything as small as, outs in the 8 innings or in the eighth inning or something like that. And that could be seen maybe to a fan that was a really stink trade, but for the club, they know that they're traded for a specific thing, and as long as that happens, they're good with it.
I tell you, mate, nothing has ever made me feel more stupid as a softball player to see the thought and process that goes into baseball. The professional, like as you just said, the getting the out in the 7th innings or something. It really is broken down like that in the majors, isn't it?
Oh, it is indeed. The Cubs, when they won the World Series a few years back, did the exact same thing with Aroldis Chapman, who was, big closer at the time, still one of the big closers, and traded for Chapman. who had one more year left in terms of his until he went to free agency. The Yankees traded Chapman over to the Cubs for, at the time, one of the big prospects coming through, Gleyber Torres, who now is a big part of their team. He's injured at the moment, but when he's on form, he's one of the guys in the Yankees at the moment. And then, of course, Chapman went a long way to help them winning that World Series that year, went on the free agent market, and ended up back at the Yankees. So, but the Cubs got what they wanted out of him. They got a big-name closer that could get the job done.
Absolutely. Hey, mate, last time you said the Padres were on a bit of a roll. They had taken your notice. Who in the last couple of weeks has taken your notice, and who's performing around the traps?
As much as it pains me to say, that the Tampa Bay Rays are really the team that, in the American League, that are really going leaps and bounds. And look, the Yankees, which is my team, haven't had a bad year except for the time that they've played the Rays. I think they've only beaten them twice out of 10. So they're 2-8 in terms of their win-loss against the Rays, which is not good. But the Rays are really good. They've got fantastic, really strong pitching. They've got a great hitting side. And they're really resilient. They battle and battle and battle, and that's the reason they've got the best record at the moment in the American League. So they're starting to get a roll on and run away with things at the moment. So teams like the Yankees and the Toronto Blue Jays are really fighting off now for those other spots, particularly in the American League East. So it's going to be an interesting last sort of 3 or 4 weeks as we get down to the home straight, and as teams really start to jockey for position in both leagues. In the National League, the Dodgers are running away with it. I think that's no surprise to anyone. The Padres are still sticking in there. They're a really good team, and they made some really key moves during the trade deadline, including one of the big pitchers that were on the trade block during that trade period, Mike Clevenger from Cleveland, and a couple of other really, really key moves as well. So it firms up their pitching. They've got a guy in relief as well, Trevor Rosenthal, who is having a fairly good year this year, but he's going to be in there to really strengthen up the Padres bullpen, which isn't the best. So you really need those types of players that can come in, give a little bit of something, do their job, and get those teams over the line into the playoffs. Because once they get into the playoffs, it's anyone's game.
That's the one. Hey, who would have thought after 36, 38 games we're already talking about those playoff spots in a baseball season? In a baseball season. Never. Hey, mate, last time you picked the Yankees, Red Sox as the games to watch to come up. What's the games that got you excited this weekend?
Well, I shouldn't have said the Red Sox, because the Red Sox, they are horrible at the moment. They are dead last in the East and dead last in the American League at the moment. Well, some good series coming up. A lot of really key games that are starting to, in key series that are starting to happen over the weekend. There's some really good ones. Cubs and Cardinals is happening. That's a rivalry. Obviously, that's right up there with the Yankees and Red Sox. So, but there's some really sort of key ones. Phillies play the Mets this weekend, and that's quite key as well, particularly with the expanded playoff structure that's happening. So it's my Yankees have got the Orioles, who have surprised people this year. So plenty of games to try and get your head around.
Oh, just having it there is pretty awesome as well. Mate,
sure is.
Always appreciate your time. Lastly, there is your own season coming up. So if there's anyone out there thinking of getting involved with baseball, trying it out with the Littlies, how can they get in touch? Where to find you guys?
Yep, absolutely. You can check us out on Facebook. just search for Levin Hustle, and we'll be up there. That should bring us up in the search. We're starting our academy and spring training camps for our Sunday league teams this weekend, hopefully weather permitting. But we'll be out there for the next sort of 6 to 8 weeks, getting ready for our season to begin late October.
Brilliant. Spring training. Gotta love it.
Spring training, absolutely. And look, our registrations for our Saturday competition are coming up as well. So we are going to be going out into the community, setting up a couple of stalls here and there, Foxton, Levin, Nortaki, places like that. So if you see us, come and have a yarn and have a talk, and maybe baseball's for you or your children, and something cool to get involved in.
Absolutely, mate. Keep up the good work. I always appreciate your time. So go well. We'll catch up soon.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Damian.